Hey everyone, we're back for another workout of the day. Today is an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible for 20 minutes. It is called Top Gun. It is 15 goblet squats, 15 box jumps, 15 hip thrusters, and 15 burpees. So we're going to go through all of those movements and the modifications, and then you can get started. Okay, so the first movement we have is going to be our goblet squat. So let's go over the squat movement first. We want to be about hip width apart with our feet, maybe even slightly wider. We want our toes to be slightly pointed outward. And when we come down, we want to bring our knees out, not forward or in. So really make sure you're pressing against, outwards. So you're going to come down, and the whole time you want your feet to be flat on the ground. So your feet are never coming up. So if you find yourself rolling to your toes, a lot of the time is because you're going forward with your knees. So if you're going forward with your knees, you're going to automatically pretty much roll that way. So make sure you bring your knees out. You want that chest always up. And you really want to try to get two parallel, which is about here. So your leg is parallel to the ground, or a little bit below if you can. But what I really want you to focus on is keeping those feet flat on the ground. So if you're having some mobility issues, definitely something to work on with those ankles, or even just your limbs you need to stretch or whatever. If you're having those problems, definitely work on some stretches and some things like that. But we really want, again, our feet to stay flat on the ground the whole time, knees out, chest up. So the goblet squat, we're going to add some weight. So if you have a dumbbell, you can hold it like so and just really keep that chest up, knees out. You can also use a kettlebell or a slam ball as well. Or if you don't have any weights but you have bands, you can just stand on the band and do like a front squat. So we're going to hold the band up on our chest, come down for a little bit more resistance. It's the same form throughout, no matter what you're using. If you're not ready for a weight, just do air squats, which is just, what we were doing in the beginning. The next movement is going to be our box jump. So you're going to need a box for this, obviously. You're going to set up facing the box, and you're going to jump completely and fully on the box. So your both feet are supposed to land at the same time, fully on top of the box. You want to land in a quarter squat, right? So I'm not going down all the way in a squat, coming down in a quarter squat, and then I'm standing all the way up at the top, and I'm either going to step down or jump down. Modifications would be step ups. So again, full foot on top of the box, legs extends all the way straight, and then place that other foot on the box. You can lower the box. You can stack some plates to a level that you feel comfortable jumping on. If you don't have a box, it's okay. You can use other things around the house if you're working at home. You can even use a bench if you have one, if you're at a gym. Or you can do, if you're not ready to jump on top of anything, that's okay. We can do jumping squats. So again, that same movement, that same form that we just went over with the goblet squats, we're going to keep that there. And we're just going to jump up and down. The next is our hip thruster. So I've noticed a big trend online lately that all the girls are posting about hip thrusters, which I don't even know if they understand what it exactly is good for. I think they just are like, let's get those butts nice and big and round or whatever. But it's really good. It's a really good exercise to incorporate. And it's not something you have to do every day, despite what the women online are doing. It's not something you have to go particularly heavy with, but it is great to, yes, to get your glutes, to get your legs, to get those hips, those hip thrusters. Your hips stronger. It's great accessory work to get things like your squat stronger, things like your deadlift, things like that. It's not something that we're just like aiming for to get like super heavy. I don't know if you've noticed, there's no competition that is a heavy hip thruster. So, and there's good reason for that. So, anyway, we're going to go over this. So, ideally, we want something to put our back on. And this is just going to give us a little bit more height. So, we're going to have our feet flat on the ground. And we're going to thrust all the way up until we're straight and flat. Come back down, touch, and you want to squeeze your butt up at the top. So that's one way. Now, if we want to add weight, and we have a barbell, and this is where I feel like I see all the ladies out there. This is good lower pelvic strengthening exercise as well. So we're going to have the bar in that nice crease. We're going to grab it with our two hands, lean back, and again, it's the same movement upward. If you don't have a barbell, you can use your slam ball. And again, it's just in that crease there. You can use a plate, or you can even use a dumbbell as well. If you have a band, you can use a band, but I will tell you it's a little different. So if you put your feet down, put the band down around your waist, and you're going to have to hold the band for resistance down. But just adds a little something for you. So again, we can do it without anything. If you don't have something to lean on, you can do it on the ground. And again, same movement. We're going to have both hands on the ground, and we're going to come up until we're squeezing at the top and everything is straight. And you can add weight doing this as well. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to get our burpees in to get that heart racing a little bit with some cardio. Burpee is going to be hands on the ground, legs kicked out to a straight plank all the way out. Come down into a nice push-up, push back up, come back in, jump at the top. So it's going to be a fast movement. If we can't get that push up, we can just do sprawls. So again, we're coming out, all the way back in. You can also use something like a box. You can come out, push up, come back in. Or you can even walk it out. So we come out, walk out, either add the push-up or without the push-up. So it's as many rounds as possible for 20 minutes, 15 goblet squats, 15 box jumps, 15 hip thrusters, 15 burpees, and keep going through those movements over and over again for 20 minutes and see how many rounds that you can get. Mark down your times, weights, and movements.